boy, wait a second. 1 month ago, Jill Biden went on The View and she said this.
That in where they're going to turn off those mics so that somebody can't ramble or scream at somebody. You know, not that my husband would be the one doing that. No. And so that's already been negotiated. And, you know, I think the American people deserve a debate because you need to see your choices. You need to see Trump and you need to see the president and you need to see the differences. And my husband's, and you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. And then you'll see somebody who, like you're saying, I'm going to use Joy's words, can't put a sentence together. Right. And everything is beautiful and it's wonderful.
Tremendous. Bigly.
Yeah, tremendous. Yeah. So I think the American people deserve to see the two men who are running for this office, because your choice is going to be clear.
With dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President.
Yeah, Jill, the choice is clear. Hands behind your back as well. Hands behind your back. Elderly abuse. Oh boy, not them cackling hens. Not the spew. Y'all got y'all bags. Come on in, Patriots. Make sure you got your bags. Because we don't need nobody throwing up on the floor. Especially when it comes to these women on The View, boy. Oh boy. Oh, they just can't handle it, y'all. They just can't accept it. Oh, Biden feet massagers. Go on, massage Biden's feet. This one's gonna be a good one. We all been waiting for this one. Oh, after the presidential debate, we got to see what the cackling is. Grab your bag. You might have to double up because they have a huge meltdown. You know, can't face reality. Oh man. Can't make this up, y'all. This is going to be a good episode. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. God bless all you beautiful people around the world, my beautiful patriots, my brothers and sisters. We got to come together and spread the love, especially around times like this, man. And it's still, Jill, hands behind your back. Elderly abuse. I feel bad for that poor fella, man, up there. And it's not funny. We not laughing. But the ladies on The View have a huge meltdown as they try to back up Joe Biden. They try to spin it. But hey, sorry, can't nobody spin this. You got to accept your fate. You're defeated. And we're going to crack open a cold one in November. Me and my Patriots, we're going to crack open a couple cold ones. But check this out, y'all.
Strategists and columnists and some people at this table are calling for Biden to be replaced on the ticket, but others are coming to Joe's defense. Watch.
There is panic that has set in among people who have watched this debate, who are Democrats, people who are strategists, and some even inside Democratic campaigns. Yeah. Do you think it's unfounded?
Well, I think it's unhelpful, and I think it's unnecessary. We've got to go in and got to keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance. What kind of party does that?
There was a slow start, but it was a strong finish. And what became very clear through the course of the night is that Joe Biden is fighting on behalf of the American people.
He was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. You must, I mean, that's certainly true, is it not?
I'm not going to spend all night with you talking about the last 90 minutes when I've been watching the last 3.5 years of performance.
Okay. So let me ask you, is it even possible to replace Biden at this stage of the game? And have Republicans considered replacing their candidate, as Sonny pointed out, with someone who isn't a twice impeached serial liar and a convicted felon?
Well, clearly the Republicans have not, right? Yeah. As Anna just mentioned, yeah. They're not going to do. They're going to fall in line, unlike the Democrats.
Here they go, trying to flip it. Oh, maybe they should consider replacing Trump. Nobody's talking about replacing Trump. He doesn't need to be replaced. Your side is panicking, shaking in their boots. All we've seen is elderly abuse.
I liked what I saw from Gavin. She said he had a slow start, but a strong finish. But I've been watching him for 3.5 years, and I know what he can do. With Kamala, the vice president, by his side, that gives me great comfort. With Gavin Newsom as a potential successor, that gives me great comfort. I have no comfort in who would succeed Donald Trump because he has said that he's going to be a dictator from day one.
Yeah.
So in my
Oh man, the level of delusion. Oh my goodness. I don't know how this show is still on the air. We must pray for anybody that watches The View in 2024. But the level of delusional. Oh my God. What?
view, if we're going to talk about successors, yes, you may want to talk about a Hakeem Jeffries, the way, you may want to talk about Hakeem, the way Nancy Pelosi looked inside of herself and
Oh, man.
pass the baton. You may want to do that. You may want to think about Pete Buttigieg, who I'm not sure if this country is ready for a gay president, but I think he's...
Oh, man. Oh, boy. And one thing, you guys. We just don't think Biden, they don't, from what it looks like, there's no replacement. There's just no replacement. They're and like they what's it called just said, their best hope is Michelle Obama. But she doesn't want in your politics. Check this out.
If not Biden, who would it be? And that's where it would get very complicated, because the logical place you would look if the president steps aside is the vice president, Kamala Harris. And hey, she ran for president once. You assume she has presidential ambitions. Here's the issue there. She's very well known, and this is her favorable, unfavorable score in 2 recent polls. And frankly, compare it to Biden. She's 41% favorable in the Fox News poll. In that same poll, Joe Biden was 44%. So he's at 3 points less. In the Economist YouGov poll, same poll, Joe Biden was sitting at 39%. She's at 37%. So if you're looking to the vice president, you have to ask yourself, does that actually put you, if you're a Democrat, in a better position politically? And then the question would become, if you say it doesn't, would Kamala Harris also agree to step aside and let a brand new ticket come in? Or is that something she would fight? Would you have complications there? But if you got to that next level and it's not Kamala Harris, then the issue is stature. Who of any stature could you put in who Democrats would agree on, there'd be consensus immediately, and maybe who the country knows? And there's not much polling on some of the names that you hear. This was conducted by Ipsos for an interest group earlier this year. And there's a lot of names I would like to test, but these are the 3 that they did test in this poll, just to give you a sense of it. Pete Buttigieg, favorable 30, unfavorable 28. That's still a lot who don't know him. Gavin Newsom, look at that. Almost half the country doesn't have an opinion of him, but those that do, it's already double digits negative. Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, the vast majority, no opinion of her, 17 among those who do. And again, there's other names out there you're already probably hearing, like Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, Amy Klobuchar, senator from Minnesota. But this is a sense of the numbers. When you get beyond Biden and Harris and those big name national figures, you get a lot of people. It's a question mark. You could see Democrats might see potential talent nationally in, say, a Gretchen Whitmer, but that's a big question mark. How would she be received by the public? And would that give Democrats pause? And then you start to ask the question, well, okay, is there any Democrat out there who has the kind of national stature and national popularity who could step in and immediately unite the party and be strong against Trump? And we're looking around for names here. You hear this one a lot. There is absolutely no indication she has any interest, but just to give you a sense, Michelle Obama, the last time we polled her on this question of favorable, unfavorable, now it's been a few years, but it was 57, I'll try to write this down, it was 57% favorable and just 25% unfavorable. So that's the kind of profile just in terms of, widely known, and look at that, much more popular, more than twice as popular as unpopular there in the poll. That's the kind of profile the Democrats would probably want in this situation. But beyond Michelle Obama, not sure where you could find that, Chris.
Yeah. Last night, from Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris, who are 2 of the names that get the most mention as possible replacements,
is that they're loyal to Joe Biden. So this entire conversation of replacing Joe Biden, I don't think is feasible unless Joe Biden himself decides to
what about
get
Jill?
out of the...
How much influence will Jill have on him?
I hope that the people that love him would step in, because I guarantee if that was someone I loved, I'd be up in his ear now. You gave him a chance. He deserved that reverence. He was the incumbent president. He was not primaried, but the voters have spoken on Donald Trump. As sad as that is, they have spoken. It would be discounting their votes for anyone to retreat him now. But I think the problem here is even...
Look at her face. Look at her face. Oh boy. Ain't nothing like a ice cold tea, iced tea on the weekends, huh? Ain't that right, Patriots? Ain't nothing like a ice cold tea on the weekends.
The problem here is even Governor... If they were to pull back on Biden is different. He wasn't primary. Donald Trump was primary. They had other options and they chose him, and that's very sad. What you said, Sonny, about the reason you'd vote for him, like I know 3.5 years, that's what all of us who would vote for him would say. The problem here are those people that are wavering, that are dissatisfied, that are unhappy. Don't say, don't look at that debate. No, that is not helpful. And at this point, if the Democratic voice pieces do not pivot, they will lose in November.
Look at all of that.
But again, this isn't about decided voters. This is the undecided voters who will determine this election. I don't know people under 30 who are going to turn out for either candidate after last night. I was hearing from people who are horrified. They were embarrassed by it. It got into like their golf handicaps and this like pissing match between octogenarians. It's not right. It's beneath us as a nation. And listen, Joe Biden is a good man. I think he loves this country. I think he's a patriot.
Crazier than Donald Trump to think that. This thing is over. I'll guarantee you this. I would bet show me a Democratic politician and I will bet them any amount of money that Joe Biden's going to lose this election if he's the candidate. It's a guaranteed loss. You're telling me this is the most important election of our lifetimes?
This is so much worse than my worst nightmares of what it could be like in every way. The visual stuff is obvious. The staring off, the looking down, it looks terrible. His voice is so utterly weak and feeble. And honestly, like that immediately hits you when you see him, but what he says and what he doesn't say on the most important core issues of the election are even worse. Trump won on abortion in the debate. Trump comes out of the January 6th stuff looking fine. He comes out of the criminal conviction stuff looking fine. Joe Biden looks worse on democracy after that. He looks worse on criminality after that.
129 days left, Patriots. Hope y'all ready to crack open a cold one come November, man. We encourage everybody to go out and vote. But you got to get up off and go vote. God bless you all and your families. Thank y'all for stopping by and enjoying today's video. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.